Hello, my name is Ava Johnson and I'm Marketing Director at Ultima. Today I'm joined by Scott Dodd, CEO, and Matt Hudson, Director of Pre-Sales, for the first of our Copilot conversations captured on UiQ Viewpoint Video.
I mean, you're going to get more value out of your interrogation of the software, i.e. the data that you want to produce to do your job. And that's going to be much, much quicker, and you're going to make better insights, make better decisions in the business, all those things. That's the promise of it. That's always been the promise of productivity tools from way back when I was working on it back in the 80s and 90s. Productivity has always been about that. But actually, I think what I believe now is that we've finally got to a level where AI is going to give you real productivity in terms of time and insight and response to the questions that you've got to ask the data. For the first time. I mean, let's all be honest about it. Has email helped us be more productive? Not sure. It's probably better than doing letters and sending pigeons and things. But actually, does it? You know, your inbox fills up on a daily basis. Lots of things happen. That's where you spend most of your time, just triaging all that data. But if something does it for you massively quickly, and then you can get to the next thing, which is what you actually want to do, which is create content or do customer things or whatever, that's where the benefit comes from. So I think this concept of productivity is a really interesting one, because I believe this is now going to give us real productivity that we've never had before out of the software. Yeah, I mean, I think Copilot is a brilliant name because it is exactly what it says on the tin. It co-pilots the work that you do on a daily basis with you. It doesn't do it for you, it just accelerates and helps you make those decisions. It's still up to you as a user to make sure that data is correct, because the software still makes things up. And you still have to check it, you still have to do it, but to get that base level understanding of what you're trying to do, or acceleration of a document or a PowerPoint or Excel, whatever, those things can be massively accelerated, but you still have to check it. So Copilot is brilliantly named by Microsoft because it's exactly what it's doing. I don't remember the last time you've ever been on a plane where it didn't have a pilot. There's always pilots on there, but actually 99% of the flight nowadays is probably run by software, including landings and takeoffs, if you want it to. But you wouldn't be comfortable without two humans sitting at the front of the plane.
For me personally, it's the Outlook summarization. I often, as a director, we sit here, we get hundreds of emails per day, and a lot of them you're added on and you have to work out, but often I get CC'd on hundreds of emails a day as well. And I've been able to look at an email chain that's 17, 18, 20 emails long, and then someone suddenly says, "Oh, Matt, what do you think?" At which point I'm like, oh, now I've got to read through all this stuff, and like pages and pages. Now I can just hit summarize this email, and it tells me the rough gist of what's going on, what actions have been assigned so far, where we currently are, and all those sorts of bits of information. And from what might be probably 5-10 minutes of reading, working out what's going on, get interrupted while I'm reading it and have to reread it again. That goes from that to, I don't know, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. That's huge productivity gain for me. I probably use that one function, I don't know, 3 to 4 times a day. Beyond that, for everybody, I think the Teams transcription is the one that everyone's going to get. But being able to understand what happened in the meeting, who had the actions, who the actions were assigned to, when those actions are required by, and then that's sent out, followed up. But also, if you're not in the meeting or you attend the meeting late, being able to ask Copilot, you're 20 minutes late to a meeting. I'm never late to a meeting, nor you, Scott, are you, obviously. But when I am late, very occasionally, which is all the time, I get it to summarize what's happened up to the point where I join the meeting. And that is really quite powerful, because I don't have to sit there and interrupt everybody while they update me what's happened, because they generally like to keep me abreast of what's going on. That's really cool. And then at the end of it, summarize it, send it out, chase it up, and those sort of things. That is a real cost saving for me.
But also information makes sure that the information is correct and valid and relevant.
Yeah.
Same question to you.
I'd echo the Teams one. I think the Teams one's incredible. It's like magic when you see that, and you can literally go back and reference who said what in a meeting, whether there was an action or not, and you ask it to summarize actions, and it will take actions from the conversations that have been had. And it's also a different way of running a meeting. It's very interesting to see behavioral change when you run a meeting using transcription, where it says, you start the meeting saying, this is being recorded, software is capturing everything you're saying, and then so behaviors slightly change as well when you do that, because it makes people think about what they're saying, because it gets captured. I think generally for me, the whole suite coming together, I'm just starting to use it myself, But this use of PowerPoint, I do a lot of PowerPoint stuff. We do lots of presentations and creating content. I think that's a huge time saver for me. Also getting me the core content, whether it be from our own data, where we can now go and search, using 365 chat, which basically uses the data in my Microsoft Graph. So I can interrogate our website and say, bring me back all the data sheets for managed services and professional services in whatever area. And it'll bring that data back, and I can summarize that and then collapse it into a couple of points in a slide or whatever, just to make sure it's up to date. That stuff is huge, right? You have to go and find the data, transcribe it, maybe cut and paste it, make sure instantly you get all that stuff.
It does it from multiple sources as well, right? So
Yeah.
it'll find one of those data sheets from SharePoint and another one from an email that you received,
That's
another
right.
one from a team site, and so it's not you having to go to different locations to find it.
So the chat concept, and that's another whole topic about how you use 365 chat, because that can appear in Teams, it can appear in your 365 homepage, it can appear in Outlook, all these things. So actually it appears on the browser actually as a browser addition. So and you can ask it anything from internal data, and then you go to 365 chat for the internet, and it goes out and finds anything you want on the internet as well. So it's just the whole concept of bringing all these things together is a huge topic, but also a huge learning. I mean, it's taken me a good couple of weeks to get my head around how beneficial it can be, and it's now literally on a daily basis you realize, wow, I didn't think that would work, and it has. Mm-hmm. But it's learning how to ask it the right questions. I think that prompting piece is so important.
So we will continue this conversation, but for today, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So if you want to know more about Copilot, what it can do for your business, or you need just to understand what are the next steps you need to take, then watch out for our monthly webinars, or consider doing an assessment by filling out one of the forms on our website, www.ultima.com. Thank you very much.